Chapter 36, Section 2. The election of 1996. The Democratic president, Bill Clinton, is going to run again. His support had increased as the economy boomed. The Republican Congress had failed to live up to their contract with America. And overall, really, the Republicans they were widely divided on numerous issues. And the Republicans are going to nominate Bob Dole. And in this election, Clinton actually followed a lot of the middle ground. He even agreed with a lot of the issues that the Republicans supported. So as a result, Clinton and Gore are going to get 49% of the popular vote, 379 electoral votes. Dole, 41% of the popular vote, 159 electoral votes. And Perot runs again, this time as part of the Reform Party, and he gets 8.4% of the popular vote. So less than half of what he had gotten last time. Again, running on that same idea of changing politics in D.C. Congress remained Republican, and this is actually the first time that a Democrat had won a second term since FDR. It's the first time a Democrat was elected president, but Republicans win the House and the Senate. So let's take a look at the second term here of Clinton. The economy is going to continue to boom. It's going to be the largest, longest economic boom in history. You know, the number of people becoming wealthy was growing. The stock market was doing outstanding, especially technology stocks. You've got the lowest unemployment in years. You've got low inflation. And a lot of this is going to be thanks to Chairman of the Federal Reserve System, Alan Greenspan. He really helped fuel this economic boom. And we're going to have something that we really don't see anymore. We're going to have a surplus. The government had extra money in its budget. Just in 1999, that was $124 billion extra dollars. And so now comes the problem of what do we do with this extra money? So let's look at Clinton's ideas. Clinton wants to help out domestic programs. For example, Social Security, Medicare, education. Clinton also wants to start paying off the federal debt. Actually, if everything continued the way Clinton had wanted, the federal debt would have been paid off by 2015, which obviously didn't happen. And really, when you look at Clinton's ideas, there's nothing wrong with them. You know, paying down the debt, helping out these domestic programs that benefit a lot of people. Congress, on the other hand, the Republicans, they had a different idea. They said, if we have extra money, think about where the government gets their money from. It's taxes. If we have extra, it means we charged too much in taxes. So they want to give the money back to the people. The people have overpaid. Again, there's nothing wrong with that idea either. Part of the problem was, it either, for some reason, the politicians said either had to be one idea or the other. We can't just do both, or a little bit of one or a little bit of another. Bottom line is this. In the fall of 2000, there was no budget agreed upon. They had not agreed upon a budget. Something else Clinton's going to have to deal with during his presidency is going to be race problems, race relations. One of the big ones is going to be the Los Angeles riots in 1992, which erupted after 4 white police officers were acquitted of beating Rodney King. And the people in South Central LA are going to erupt into violence because King's beating was caught on videotape. In 1997, you've got the Initiative on Race. trying to encourage people to discuss race issues, which is just a lot of talk. It really doesn't do much. And then in 1998, you're going to have something occur in Jasper, Texas that really is going to shock people. Um, 3 white racists are going to kill James Byrd Jr. And it was how they did it that just shocked people. They didn't know him. They pulled up along him as he was walking by along a road. They proceeded to stop their truck, get out a chain, tie the chain around his neck, and drag him behind the bumper of the truck, which eventually severed his head. And people across the country started calling for tougher hate crime laws after this. And probably the thing that's going to overshadow Clinton's presidency the most is going to be scandal. In 1994, a woman by the name of Paula Jones is going to sue Bill Clinton, claiming that when he was governor of Arkansas, he sexually harassed her. Now, you had people that had a lot of questions about why she wait so long, why she wait to become president, whatever. Later on, a judge does dismiss this case. And the reason I mention this case is because of some things are going to occur during it that come up again later. We've already mentioned one of the scandals that Clintons were involved in called Whitewater, looking into their financial past dealings and that failed real estate development. And an independent counsel by the name of Kenneth Starr is going to be looking into this whole Whitewater thing. And one of the things that Starr is going to watch or view or investigate or look into, whatever, is he watches videotape of Clinton's testimony during that civil trial, that Paula Jones trial. And when he watches this, he suspects that Bill Clinton lied under oath during this questioning. During the Paula Jones trial, Clinton was asked if he had an inappropriate relationship with a White House intern by the name of Monica Lewinsky. And Clinton said no. There's all sorts of different cartoons, memes, everything about Bill Clinton's presidency with Lewinsky. And Clinton is going to be asked again about this by a grand jury, and he again repeats the testimony that he did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky, is what he says. And by then, a House Judiciary Committee is now starting to investigate. After some evidence and people talking and stuff like that, Clinton finally admits to the affair. But he says he did not commit perjury because he claims to be confused by what they are asking, and he didn't realize oral sex was included in what they are asking, and so he pleads this all sorts of ignorance. And when they questioned him, he was being a royal pain in the butt. One of them, depends on what your definition of is. He says one time. Here's the thing. The Judiciary Committee disagrees with Bill Clinton on the perjury stance and recommends that Bill Clinton be impeached. On December 20th, 1998, the House votes for impeachment, saying that Bill Clinton as president violated his constitutional oath of office. Bill Clinton is only the second president ever to be impeached. The only other one, if you remember from back at the beginning of our course, was Andrew Johnson. Some people get confused and think that Nixon was impeached. He would have been, but he quit first. So the Senate Republicans are calling for a conviction. The Senate Democrats are saying, yes, what he did was offensive, but they don't know if it falls under what the Constitution calls high crimes or misdemeanors. And you've got, basically, you've got this trial going on in the Senate. And in February of '99, the Senate votes to acquit Bill Clinton. Not guilty. Not going to be removed from office. You've also got some worry about some events that were going on overseas in Kosovo. Okay. Kosovo was a province within Yugoslavia. And the leader of Yugoslavia was Slobodan Milosevic. He was the president of Yugoslavia. Now, if you look at the makeup of Yugoslavia, it's mostly all Serbian. But if you looked at the province of Kosovo, 90% of it was Albanian. Many of the people from Kosovo wanted independence. They didn't see a connection with the rest of Yugoslavia. Milosevic's troops are going to be ordered to kill thousands of Kosovar Albanians. And you've got thousands more that are going to be forced to flee. And in the beginning, the Western world doesn't pay a lot of attention. But by March of '99, the attacks are increasing. And NATO is going to start bombing Serbia. Madeleine Albright, our Secretary of State, encouraged this. And for 3 months, NATO is going to conduct airstrikes. Until finally Milosevic pulls his troops out of Kosovo and NATO troops can enter to try to enforce this peace. In September of 2000, you're going to have an election in Yugoslavia, and a new president is going to be elected. But Milosevic refuses to accept the fact that he's been beaten. It's not until you had thousands of people, empty into the streets of Belgrade in protest against Milosevic that he finally gives in and disappears. And world leaders recognize this new government. Europe pledges to help it rebuild now that Milosevic is gone, but they had to hunt down and figure out where Milosevic went. He's finally going to be located, and he is going to go before the International War Crimes Tribunal in The Hague in July of 2001, charged with crimes against humanity and genocide. Same thing the Nazis were charged with, because Milosevic was trying to wipe out those Kosovo Albanians. Trial lasts a long time. He has some health issues, and it actually ends up ending with no verdict, because in 2006, while still on trial, Milosevic dies of a heart attack.